I'd like to welcome everybody to the April 19th Newfane Selectboard meeting. We have Shelley Huber and Ann Golob, myself, Angela Sanborn, Melissa Brown, treasurer, Jay Wilson, our road foreman. And we have Doris, our lister, and we have Stephanie as a member of the public. Thank you, everyone, for being here tonight.
Thank you.
Do we have any additions or amendments to the agenda?
The one for the emergency management.
Jay has the emergency management plan. Shall we address that during your report? Is that okay?
Sure. If you want to do it at the end or whatever, we can do that.
Okay, we'll include that with your report. The first thing we have now is the approval of the minutes for our April 5th meeting.
Wasn't there a time or something? Was it Emily? I couldn't find it again.
The time item that you mentioned,
Yeah, there was the same time.
8:12 on the executive session,
Was that-
on the last page, 21, on the last page.
So it was 8, so it was a typo.
Yeah,
So we went into executive session at 8:12.
I don't remember exactly, but that's,
Do you,
Somewhere around there.
I know you're,
Juanetta,
Yes.
on the last page of the minutes, there's an issue with the times that were entered for when we entered executive session and then when we came out.
Okay,
It's on the last page.
okay.
It's the same time, so that just needs to be corrected. Well, we talk that fast, we got it all done in a minute. Come on, we're efficient.
do you happen to have right off the time, or should we make an amendment? We continue these and we'll fix it and do it the next time?
I mean, I've got my,
Based on the video, right?
Yeah.
Because we adjourned the meeting at 8:26.
Well,
8:46, 8:21, you went
Yeah,
in,
went in.
and 8:46, you came out.
Okay.
and then we,
And
Adjourn
there
the
was no
meeting.
decision at this time.
and what time did we adjourn our meeting?
If we adjourned at 8:46, there was a time interval because we had to do the pay orders. Right?
Right,
But we usually go off camera. to do
But
that.
you came,
Oh,
you
okay.
came out and you went, well, you
Okay.
adjourned right away.
Yeah,
okay.
Okay.
So
then-
we went in at 8:21, came out at 8:46 and adjourned.
so I make a motion to make the adjustment
Second,
for the timing.
Is there a motion for amended April 5th, 2021 meeting minutes? As we just corrected.
mhm,
Any
yeah,
second.
agreed. Mhm.
Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. The ayes have it. The next, we have the April 5th Board of Liquor Control meeting minutes.
Looks good to me. I second them.
8:46, no, you know, 8:50, yeah.
Are you making the motion or?
I'm making the motion.
And
I'll second it.
all in favor, say aye.
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 I,
And we're at the road foreman and road commissioners report. Good evening, Jay.
Hello. So the bridge work at Monroe Bridge is temporarily on hold while the whole crew is in quarantine, which didn't thrill them, but they, the whole company got exposed to it, so they had to pull them all in.
Oh, no.
the company that was doing the work,
Pardon?
company doing the work
Yes.
versus our guys.
Yeah, no, it was the outside contractors. So they said it'll be about a week more and they'll should be all cleared to come back. We did, let's see, a week ago, Tuesday, I believe it was, Wednesday, I guess, We did a little extra digging in the concrete deck with Mark Pickering and pictures going back and forth to Sven, the state's bridge engineer, and generally found the deck to be in pretty good shape. The 4 questionable spots that we opened up, they're going to have to do patching, so they've squared them up and so forth. But really found, other than the top couple inches, the rest of the deck was in pretty good shape. So that was encouraging.
That's great.
Good.
The Depot Road box culvert, the property at 254 Depot Road has officially changed ownership to the bank. We now have to change everything to reflect the new owners to try to get the easement signed. So the plans, the easement that the lawyer's drawn up, all has to be changed to reflect the new owners. And since it's owned by the mortgage company, Bob Fisher said it can be hard to get the right person that can actually sign for the bank. So, and we need to get it done before they transfer it again, or we'll go back into because their goal will be eventually to transfer it to a new owner.
Yeah.
And the trick is to try to get the easement in place before they get a chance to transfer it again. So it's just been a nightmare having that whole property being in an estate, and it should have been done months and months ago, but nothing has gone well with that process. So the bank had it in foreclosures and they weren't willing to sign then, and now they're officially the owners. So we're hoping that now we can get them to sign the easement and get on with it. 3 access permits to approve tonight. First one is David Marquise at 86 Newfane Hill Road. He does not need a culvert. Beckley Gaudette on the backside of Newfane Hill Road needs a 15-inch culvert. And John Julian on Parish Hill Road needs a 15-inch culvert and needs to go in level before going up so the water doesn't come down into the road. And all of those reviewed by Chris Williams and myself and okayed. They all look good, so those can be approved.
The permits were okayed by what, the state?
The access permits?
Yeah.
No, Chris and I okayed them as far as,
Oh, I see.
and now you guys need to actually approve them.
Okay.
Sand salt shed, there's nothing new to report. And we had our first hazard mitigation plan meeting last week. And one more this week with Margot from Windham Regional Commission. She'll begin working on our plan once we've had these 2 meetings. And we had 7 people that are involved in the planning, which was really good to have that many people willing to participate. Couple things I thought of since I wrote this was the Conservation Committee may be willing to come up with the plan for the ash tree removal. I was talking with Greg Record, who's on the committee, and he said that might be something that would fall into their area, and he's going to bring it up at their meeting in early May to see if they'd be willing to come up with a plan for that. The other thing was Dr. Schaefer and Deb Luskin and Laura Bacon were doing green up on Grimes Hill today, and Laura called about the pull off at the top of Grimes Hill is a notorious place for trash dumping. And just maybe between now and the next meeting, kind of think of any ideas you might have. It's nice to have those pullouts since people are trying to pull off the road to use their phones or whatever now, but it's kind of a pain when you have to go down over that steep bank and retrieve stuff. So be thinking if any ideas you might have for how to deal with that. And that's it for the regular road foreman's report.
You had a question, Shelley, on number 2?
No, I think I got that answered.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And you wanted to talk about the local emergency management plan municipal adoption form?
Yep. just make sure you guys approve the access permit so those people could continue with their work. So we had a meeting Sunday. And the only thing we found that needed to be changed was Angela's name in place of Marion's. And we took the dog officer out because I don't believe we have one right at the moment.
Mhm.
Other than that, there's nothing else changed. And we just need to adopt it annually and get it in before May 1st.
Is there a motion to adopt this new form with the changes?
I make a motion.
Is there a second?
I'll second
Any further discussion?
it.
No,
All those in favor say aye.
I,
Aye.
Aye. And then you, to do these access permits, you just need us to sign, or do we need to do motions?
I think you actually should do a motion for them, I believe.
So the first one is an application for access / right-of-way permit for John Julian. And it's for the Parish Hill and Chapin Road culvert. Is there a motion to accept that?
make a motion to accept.
I'll second it. So these are culverts that going into their property or something?
This is to put a new access in where there isn't one currently, so they have to put a culvert in for the water under their driveway.
Is it the property owner's responsibility?
Yes.
Okay.
Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
I,
Aye. Okay, next we have, is it Beckley Allen Goddard?
Yep.
And this is for Otis Lane.
Well, it's for the backside of Newfane Hill. Otis Lane is the closest crossroad.
Okay,
Nearby.
is there a motion?
I make a motion to accept it.
Is there a second?
second,
Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
I,
Aye. And thirdly, we have David Marquez, and this is for Grimes Hill Road, Newfane Hill Road. Says approximately 1.25 miles. So this is,
It's on Newfane Hill.
okay. Is there a motion for this one?
motion,
I'll make a motion to accept the request for permit.
Second?
yes, second it.
Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
I,
Aye. Great, those are all approved.
Okay. I think we did 3 of all of last year, and here's 3 in one meeting, so that's, something's different. So people are doing something.
Is there any further discussion on the road foreman and road commissioner's report? Is there a motion to accept?
I make a motion to accept.
I'll second it.
Michelle, second. All those, any further discussion? All those in favor say aye. Aye.
Aye.
I,
Great, thank you so much.
Thank you.
And moving along, we have the administrative assistance report. Juanetta.
Can I make a suggestion?
Yes, sorry.
When they give us a report, can we go subject by subject versus them just reading the whole thing
Sure.
so we can deal with it?
Yeah, that'd be great.
Yeah. Both the road foreman and the administrative assistant report.
That sounds good. We'll do each block separately.
Yeah,
That way we can address everything as it's come up.
yes.
Perfect.
Okay. I'd like to revisit the memo that I sent the select board on February 18th, 2020, to see if the board would like to schedule with the other town committees and organizations a reporting and tracking progress. This will allow the board to be more informed and to provide help and maintain open communications.
Okay, so do we have a form here that we should look at, or?
It should be the memo that I
This one
sent
here,
you.
with the list on.
So accountability from departments and organizations that help maintain and run the town of Newfane are not making clear reporting on a regular basis. Be wise to consider having a yearly plan set in place for the schedule of things to be worked upon. Department meetings on a quarterly basis and a monthly email reporting to track progress to let the select board be aware of the progress and accountability. The budget season was a clear indication of the amount of money it takes to run the town, and would be another way of seeing how the money is spent and for what projects and the timeline that it takes to get things done. So like, for instance, like animal control officer, which we don't have, let's pick DRB. So when you have in your schedule here are plans, that would be, what would go in that?
That would be what they're working on, whether it's, instituting the new animal control officer with the sheriff's department.
Okay,
And then like the highway department, we already get a date, bi-monthly report from there. The listers, the planning commission, and the zoning administrator. I mean, those are all,
I love the idea of being able to hear more on a regular basis.
Mhm.
I think this is not extensive enough to follow or track it. Do you know what I mean?
What if each of these groups made a report similar to the ones we get from the road foreman and the administrative assistant, that they presented a written report and figure out what the sensible interval would be,
Right.
presumably quarterly?
I think quarterly would be good.
with the planning commission already coming regularly, and they're updating us on, the
The D5.
rental issues, the
Mhm.
short-term rentals, the town plan, the DVR fiber. Those things are important to know about, and I just feel like with them coming to us, it brings to a point that we don't hear enough from the other committees.
Right.
I don't know what recons is.
Recon is,
The
Financial.
reconciliations of the bank, those banking reports that,
Is that a separate committee?
Sierra does it monthly, and
She gives
it's
us
in the
report.
treasurer's. I believe I sent it in the packet.
yep,
Okay.
So is this more or less, though, the schedule here? Are we just saying when we are getting a report, maybe?
Well,
Does that sound right?
I would just like to consider setting up some sort of schedule. This was only a draft
Okay,
of
yeah,
what I would like to see,
yeah.
and whether you feel monthly or quarterly or semi-annually. I mean, Williamsville Hall hasn't done anything, but they do need inspections done over there to see what renovations need to be maintained in the building.
I think getting a quarterly report from each committee would be appropriate, and somebody could come and read that or send it to us and I could read it out loud. But if we have any questions, somebody should be present to be able to answer the questions. So if we offset some of these so that they're not all at the same time,
Yes, exactly.
that would be good.
Right. That'd be great.
Can you set that up and reach out to people
I
and
will.
report back at our next meeting what you found out?
Yeah.
That would be great.
Yeah, that would be good.
Good suggestion.
The hazard mitigation meeting on April 12th was attended by 7 of us, and it went very well. The next meeting scheduled for this Wednesday, the 21st. The agenda information is posted under the latest news on the website. If you'd like to join us, contact me and I will send you the agenda with the Zoom information. I
So
think
who would attend that? Who's been attending it?
I went.
I went. Jay,
Pete Van Loon,
Right.
yep.
Merle,
Merle.
Tessier was there.
It's open to the public, though.
It is.
Yes.
Okay.
I've included an email that I received this morning regarding a conservation project involving Northeast Wilderness Trust and 111 acres off in Hunter Brook Road in South Newfane. They're asking for a letter of support from the select board, similar to the deer preservation project that Deb Luskin presented to the board last year. They've already submitted their application to the state of Vermont, and we can send it after reviewing their information. I set up a board of abatement for Carol for the 29th on Zoom, and that's going to be Thursday at 6 p.m.
I'm sorry, what's a board of abatement? Did you
Board
say?
of abatement is when they come to ask for changes in their tax information.
The billing, like the assessment.
Okay, so you just went on to a new topic. Aren't we still on this?
They're looking for, but usually the abatement is abatement of taxes.
Right. Is that what they're looking for here?
No. This was another item that I came up with afterwards.
Okay, so
I
the
understand.
board of abatement you set up for when?
The 29th at 6 p.m.
April 29th?
Mhm. And I believe Carol has a schedule and she's already contacted that board for a quorum.
Can we go back to the Northeast Wilderness Trust?
Mhm.
Yes. Mhm.
I would, if it's okay, I would like to make the suggestion that we all read what is being presented to us this evening and that we make the decision at our next meeting,
I agree.
which is May 3rd. And that way we have time to read everything that's in here.
Do we have a document for it?
Yeah, it's pretty
Mhm.
lengthy.
Oh, this is it. Oh, yeah, that's thick.
Is that good with everybody to continue
Yes.
this till the May 3rd and we'll make a
And could I-
decision on that?
Winetta, could I just ask that when you write to Katie and Mike, just let them know to be sure to take a look at this, so we'll come up for discussion.
And now back to the Board of Abatement.
Mhm.
Does anybody, I'll be able to attend and everything will be sent out before then? Okay. And that's via Zoom?
Yes,
And the link to that will be put on the website
yes.
for people to see? Great.
And how many properties are being discussed? Just one?
I don't have that list.
Carol will have the list.
Yes. Mhm.
Thank you, Juanetta. Is there a motion to accept the administrative assistance report?
And make a motion.
And Angela,
Oh, I'm sorry.
I didn't have I had the mute on. I was in the office today when Carol was talking to Priscilla about the Board of Abatement meeting, and I believe it is only one property. The other factor is you won't have materials sent to you. Carol will, as town clerk, since she organizes these meetings, will send to everybody on the BCA the agenda and the person, et cetera. But all for the new members, all of the Board of Abatement material is presented by the listers at the Board of Abatement. So we get that information, and I think the property owner will come in and make a presentation unless it's just something for a fire. So don't expect to get a packet of material prior to. You will get the material at the meeting. And then we listen to everything, and then we meet after that and make our decision.
Thank you so much, Gloria, for the information. That's helpful.
I mean, somebody who's been there before, I can imagine it is confusing. And it would be maybe if people have questions and want to contact me, I can just run some of those things through so that you come in, because you really do come in as somebody who can make these decisions. And once we're into the Board of Abatement meeting, you cannot go out and ask the listers questions. You can't go out and try to find comparable things to figure out, like the tax appeal. So you've really got to go in realizing that what you get at the meeting is what you get.
And Gloria, the people in the Board of,
Civil Authority?
right, the Board of Civil Authority are can you just tell people?
Okay, Board of Civil Authority is made up of you as the select board members, all 5, and the 7 justices of the peace. And on the Board of Abatement, Missy is there, as are the listers. Now, the listers don't make a decision. They present information. And Carol, of course, is on the Board of Civil Authority.
The town clerk.
Correct.
Yeah.
Missy?
So just to let you know, I have a whole list of them for abatements coming up actually on the 29th. There are a lot of campground ones, and then I have some town ones that I need to abate and get rid of. And then the small balances that are due every year, I usually abate them.
What's that? We think your
What's
mic.
that?
Your mic is really weird.
We're getting all this feedback on your mic when you talk.
Oh,
You're like a machine going rah, 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 rah. Try again.
is this better? Can you hear me better?
No.
No?
Why don't you hang up and come back in? Sometimes that clears it.
Okay.
So just nod your head if you are going to present additional ones at the event.
Yes. Yep.
Shall we wait for a moment till she comes back?
Yeah.
I have a comment.
Doris?
On the Board of Abatement, the listers are part of the decision making.
Oh, they are.
Yes, they are.
Okay.
And so is it Melissa. It's on, when people read their assessment is when the listers do a presentation. That's 2 different things.
Okay.
Thanks, Doris. I thought that you were, but then I forgot.
It's okay, I've done it before.
Select board.
Do I sound any better?
Much better.
Ah, nice.
You don't sound like a machine.
Cool. All right, so I was just saying that I have a whole list of them for cannoli campgrounds that are gone and you'll never collect on them, so I abate those every year. And then I have some that are the towns that we're gonna abate. And then I have some small balances that are usually done at the end of the year that I clear out and abate. So that's,
I just need a clarification. When you say you abate, I'm not sure what exactly that means. It may not be what I was imagining.
abate technically means just to get rid of it, wipe it out. It's no longer there.
Delinquent tax.
Just getting rid of the taxes, you mean?
Deleting the taxes, yep.
So the town loses out on those tax amounts.
Got it.
Town loses it, yep.
But they're not getting it anymore.
It's accepting reality. Is that your point?
It's not that much. If we do it every year, it's anywhere from $5,000 to $10,000.
And that's open to the public.
I would imagine it is. I guess we've never really done them before. They've just kind of been, yeah.
Absolutely open to the public.
Is there anything further? Is there a motion to accept the administrative assistance report?
Aren't we on the treasurer? Oh, we didn't finish the admin.
No, because
No.
Gloria had a question I didn't
Oh.
see.
Okay. I make a motion to accept the administrative.
I second it.
Any further discussion?
No.
All in favor, say aye.
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 Thank you, Juanetta.
You're welcome.
Next is the treasurer's report.
I didn't really do a report. I was just gonna see what you guys wanted to do with these tax sales. I did leave you guys a delinquent tax report. And the only ones that I have that are up for tax sale are pages 3. And I put stars and asterisks next to the ones that haven't paid or are behind.
Oh, this is a big report.
Yeah. So just the 4 with the stars.
Yeah, and then there's one on page 4. Now, 2 of those on page 3 are the ones that we discussed last time, and I'm not sure if you want to include them. The problem is if we don't include them, I'll have to leave them on the books for probably about 20 years just to get them up to where they need to be, so the town doesn't have to pay for the tax sale fee. So I don't know what you want to do in that case.
Is that 287 and 156?
It's 287 and 215-1.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yes, because they passed.
Yeah.
So, the tax report.
And when do you need a decision on these?
Bob needs them like ASAP, and then he's gonna put them out for June tax sale.
Do we do this now, or do we want to wait for the full board?
Let's do it now. It's been moving along. I mean, it's
Okay.
just the 2, right, that we have to deal with?
No, all 5, correct?
4.
Well, there's one on another.
There's 5, there's one on the next page.
So you need an answer for all 5 this evening?
Yeah, I mean, I did, at one point I had told Mike that if he paid off 2018 and then got on a payment plan for 19, he said he was planning on doing that next week. I told him as of now, he's still going into the tax sale. So if that check comes in next week, I don't know if you want me to pull him back out and put him on that payment plan like we had discussed, or just follow through with the tax sale at this point.
Well, what's the policy?
Oh, I don't have the policy. We don't have one.
So we really need a policy?
Yeah, I had started it and I had kind of rough drafted it. So at this point, it's kind of ready to be tweaked and edited, I guess you could say.
If we need to.
I can email it to all of you.
Yeah, could you email it to us, and can we discuss it further on the May 3rd meeting as well, and make a decision at that meeting after we? see
Yeah,
the
because,
policy?
yeah, I mean, these things need to be put in about the campground ones. Oh, and I don't have any campground ones, so we don't have to do that. I collected the money.
Excellent, great job.
Do we need a
Thanks.
boot? Do we need a boot?
We do not need a boot, no.
Holy
We
cow.
saved $80.
Yeah,
You'd be in trouble doing the boot.
Really? Why?
So is that enough time to
what's
get,
that?
to have you send us the policy, and then we discuss it at the next meeting and decide on all of these properties at that meeting? Is that enough time for you to get it to Bob Fisher for him to do what he needs to do?
I guess, I don't see why not.
What's the next meeting date?
May 3.
May 3?
I don't think that policy would have an effect on this tax sale, though.
True, because it wouldn't take effect.
Yeah,
Retro, right?
Active.
Yeah, it wouldn't be retroactive.
I wouldn't think so.
Unless we stipulated that way.
Well, let's see the policy and make that decision after we see the policy, and we'll go from there. So we're gonna put that on the May 3rd agenda, Melissa.
Okay. So you don't want to make a decision on the 2 deceased ones either, or you want to wait on that?
I could do those two.
Yeah,
I guess it doesn't matter.
well, I can make a motion
To
that,
start on Paul Van Gelder property and, or, do we want to say name or property numbers?
Yeah,
It doesn't matter.
D215/1 and D287, is there a motion to go ahead and start tax sale on those?
I make a motion to start.
I'll second it.
Yeah, because I guess I need to know because if you want me to put that in the policy that there's no minimum dollar amount.
Yes.
Yes,
Yeah, okay.
All right. Any further discussion on these two properties?
Do we need to talk about the property on page 4?
We're going to address that with the other two on page 3
Okay.
at the May 3rd meeting. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay. Do you have anything further, Melissa?
That was it. I told you I'd come back and give you an update. So that's all I had for you.
I just wanted to go back to one item. You sent us an email from the lawyer explaining about his fees.
Yep.
I just wanted to clarify, are we all good with that, with what he's proposing? And do we need to make any decision regarding that, Melissa?
where's the email?
It was sent to.
No.
It's
So
not
basically,
sent to us.
Today?
No,
No, it was
during, like,
last week.
last, right after the meeting, like the day after our
Oh,
last
yeah.
meeting or something.
yeah, no, so we don't have to do anything with that. Basically, he was just clarifying that it's actually the town that charges them for the legal fees. And we can only charge up to 15% of what the tax sale amount is. And then he just bills the town. So he's not technically billing the property owner, we are.
I don't believe we can change that.
No, it's a state law, 15%.
But then he was saying for the smaller properties that he was getting paid differently, that he charges for that on either per hour or per sale. Correct? Isn't that what the email said?
Yep.
So that was the piece that we had come up with discussing
I
previously.
faintly recall.
Yes. It's been a long week, right?
So the lawyer's fees we should look at.
Well, as I understood the lawyer's fees, he said either for those small properties for a tax sale, he wanted to charge either a flat fee of $500 or an hourly fee. And he didn't say what his hourly fee was, and he didn't say what the typical amount of time is. So you don't know which is the better deal, the
Right.
500 or the per hour. So
Would be on his contract what his hourly is.
I would presume.
Winetta?
I don't believe we have a contract. I think Melissa, do you recall what you pay Bob?
No, I don't. But actually, if you go over to my file cabinet, you ought to be able to pull one of his invoices and it should say right on there what his hourly rates are. Or you can break it down.
I thought we did.
Say it again.
You don't have a contract with the lawyer?
No, not a signed contract like with the state police or the Humane Society. We don't have a signed contract. We interviewed him and we hired him.
It's on the top left-hand side.
Could all these properties now become tax sales?
No,
No.
just these.
Then what happens? She's just telling us what the delinquency is.
Yeah, but, yeah.
Happy birthday, Melissa.
Yeah, happy birthday.
Thank you.
Happy birthday.
Thank you.
Thursday to you.
Lisa.
I mean, I try and save as much as I can. I pull the deeds and lister cards and everything and email them off to him, so it's less work for him to do.
Sure.
$1.50 an hour. He bills at $1.50 an hour.
Okay.
So the answer to your question is how much time it does.
How much time does a tax sale take? So I guess, Melissa, when this comes up for you then to, if you could just clarify with him, which tends to be the better deal, the flat rate or the hourly?
Okay.
I have no idea how long it takes him to do any of
Right.
these. If it's,
Yeah, I don't know either. I've never done them before, actually.
so I would just clarify that so we just don't have any surprises.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right. Since that was an update, not really a report, I don't think we need to approve, correct? I don't know the answer to
The status, yeah, an update.
that. So we can move along to committee
Yeah, we can.
report.
Determination.
What's that?
I don't think we made any determination. She was just reporting.
Right.
Thank you for your report.
Yes, thank you.
She's only gone.
You're welcome.
Oh,
Do we have any committee reports?
No committee.
None today. Now we are up to scheduled members of the public. And we have Doris here for the listers. Hi, Doris.
How you doing?
Good, how are you?
Good. I sent you a letter from Frank and I regarding an increase in wage for our data entry person, Katie Bristle. She started on November 11th. She is just great. Because of her, I don't have to work as many hours. I don't have to work 15 or 20 hours. I can work 10 hours a week. So it's cut my time down quite a bit. She's really sharp. She's really interested, and I think she's going to be taking or is taking some classes for assessing.
Oh, good.
Yeah. So she's a real big help. In fact, today she and Frank went over to Cannoli because we need to get that done. You can't go at certain times of the year and all of that. So she had it all organized. They went over in there. Frank reported back that they're almost done. Usually it would take us a couple of days. But so my suggestion is to pay her starting July 1st, $16 an hour.
I second it. I'll make a motion to.
How is she being paid now,
increase
just
it.
to clarify?
Excuse me?
How is she being paid now?
Hourly
Hourly.
At a lesser rate.
At a lesser.
at a lesser rate.
So I make a
Sounds good to me.
motion that we increase her rate as of July 1st to $16 per hour.
I second it.
Would that make it 6 months for her?
She started November 11th.
Well, it'd be more than-
July, it'd be about 7 months.
She can start tomorrow if you want.
Seems kind of.
I think you started at the beginning of the fiscal year.
That's,
July 1st.
yeah, that's why I put July 1st.
Okay,
Yeah.
yeah, because we've already budgeted.
Right.
Okay.
There's enough money in the budget. There's enough money in the budget if you changed it now.
Oh, in your budget because you're working less hours?
Well, Frank and I currently make $16.75, so we're only got 2 listers, so There's money,
Oh, yes, okay, because we're down one lister.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I would amend my motion to, as of the next
Is it May 1st?
pay period week,
When's the next pay period begin?
I think she puts in her hours twice a month. So you're better off if you think about the month. I put mine in for a whole month. She puts hers in for.
Beginning in May?
Let's just say May 1st.
May 1st.
Yeah.
Okay.
May first.
So as of May 1st, to increase Katie Bristol's hourly to $16 per hour.
You still second?
I second.
Any further discussion?
No.
All those in favor say aye.
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 Excellent.
Now, I do have another thing. And I don't know. You don't have to make any decision on it now. This has to do with, you got a memo from me?
About the veggie bingo?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, no, this, no.
Yeah.
and there's a letter in there, the pastor of the church was asked by Rachel Worthington of the Vermont Food Bank. They're gonna have to be closing Veggie Bingo that they're doing up at the Leland and Gray because of when the school opens. And it's once a month, it's for a few hours.
So
Maybe.
folks would go across street and come down and go around by the church and then, and pick up their,
Right,
okay.
yeah, and I left a thing for Jay. Jay will probably like to look it over and see what it is. And another suggestion that it is, I heard that there could be as many as 200 people, but it's really, they come in, they go out. You know, it's really well organized.
Is this the thing that they usually have up in Townsend?
I just said Leland and Gray.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah. And it's once a month.
So they're looking to put it down here in Newfane instead of in Townsend?
In front of the church.
Because they can't do it at the school anymore, starting in September. They want to move it,
Yeah. As of September 1st.
yeah. They want to move it, and the suggestion is to, maybe have it in front of the church in the route that I showed you on the map.
Yeah, I don't have it.
Yeah.
Sorry.
And because the reason for asking is because that's town road.
Have you mentioned it to the village trustees?
No,
Okay.
I didn't mention it to them because the question has to do with the road, which belongs to the town.
Right, I understand, I'm just
Yeah.
wondering about village folks.
I think it would affect everyone that this thing goes by. I mean, it affects Winnie and the other gal that lives there.
Right.
We're talking about an hour and a half, one day a month.
Gloria?
Yeah, I was talking to Reverend Hom, and he was asking about this. And it seems that it could be an issue that not only do you as the board need to make the decision, but we could work with the sheriff's office to find out what the traffic flow and the best way to put up cones, et cetera. I know they changed it at Leland and Gray from going from in front of like the town clerk's office and up and going down around. They took it when they were doing the COVID-19 shots at Grace Cottage to have people go down through Peak Mountain Road, which is right after the pharmacy. And I know I went one time and there's quite a lineup
Yeah.
of voters. I know that the West River Valley Mutual Aid Group, we've made arrangements to get all of our veggie van go for about 23 families in the West River Valley from have one person going down to Brattleboro and picking them up at the warehouse. So again, we're working with Rachel to get that arranged. But as Doris said, there could easily be a couple of hundred people who might come through and pick up vegetable boxes, because I think they provide 500 boxes for each time that they do it. So just an idea that, just getting the logistics so it's not a traffic problem.
Right.
What day is it on? Maybe on Tuesday, second Wednesday of every month.
It's from noon to 1 o'clock the second Wednesday.
Well, they're maybe changing it to Tuesday.
Tuesday.
Oh, really? Okay.
And this is starting when?
September, when school gets back to session. So everyone's able to do the.
And I don't know if there would be another route, another situation or whatever. But I know it was suggested today actually by Juanetta, what about the firehouse? But that depends upon the firehouse. So
Right.
I think once Jay looks at it and gets some input from him, to see what's going on.
The firehouse sounds like a good suggestion if that's possible, because you have space for people to drive in and.
Well,
But they're going to be
Swing around.
along the road.
That's
what
the
happens up in
problem.
Townsend.
I see.
but they're gonna be backed up
It
no matter
doesn't,
where it is.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
But sometimes I think going on Cross Street, you're gonna be backing up on Route 30, which isn't necessarily a good idea.
not on that hill, I don't think. That would be a very dangerous
No,
spot to be
I
backed
worry
up.
about taking that, when I come in from Townsend area, worry about taking that right hand.
Yep.
Yeah,
Because people are, you could easily get hit.
Well, we have Jay look at it.
But anyway, it's something for you to look at. You don't have to decide tonight, so you just got the station.
yeah,
But if you have any other questions, let me know.
definitely.
Maybe Jay could also look at it and then make a recommendation to us. for
That's
next
what my
time, yeah.
suggestion would be, yeah.
Yeah.
It's in his.
Yeah. I can do that.
I think it's information in this.
We picked it up.
Oh, we picked it up? Oh, okay.
Thank you, Jay. Thank you, Doris.
Oh,
Thank you,
you're welcome.
Gloria.
No problem.
So we'll put this on another agenda coming up to discuss further after Jay looks into it for us. Anything else, Doris?
No, that's it.
Well, thank you so much for coming.
Oh, it's been fun.
Always good to see you. Next on the,
To be here in person rather than at a Zoom meeting.
yes.
I got enough of those.
Next on the agenda, we have Stephanie Leis.
Hi, I'd like to go into executive session, please.
I've never done it this way before. I'm not quite sure how to do this.
There is usually something you state.
There's certain reasons you can go into executive
Yeah.
session.
So we have to find the code first.
Okay.
Contracts, labor relation agreement, employee, arbitration or mediation, tax grievances, pending probable civil litigation, confidential attorney-client communications. Do you want to look at that?
Yes, please. Thank you. Could be mediation.
I'm still. Can I walk it for you?
Can I ask you why an executive session?
One of the reasons is the liable information that's in one of the letters that I don't care to discuss again
Okay,
in public. Because it should never have been read to begin with.
okay. Yes, under 9.
4:10.
I would say, number 10.
So we're going to go do I make a motion to go into executive session under Title 1 BSA Section 313A 9 and/or 10 at 6:55 PM. We left executive session at 7:30 and action was taken, and there will be bi-weekly progress reports given to the board on statuses for the animal control updates. And now we're moving into unscheduled members of the public. Is there anyone that would like to speak? Okay, and we're going to again move the policies to the next meeting when we have a full board. Oh, a member of the public? Is it Juliet? Hi, Juliet, how are you?
Good, thank you. How are you?
Good, thanks. Right.
Henry and I were just wondering if we could get a time frame on that fence. The dogs were loose again this weekend, and we had to pull the kids inside. We just want to make sure, like, we have a time frame for when our kids are going to be safe.
The start of the fence is going to be happening this week, and she is going to give us an update and let us know what's going on by our May 3rd meeting.
Thank you. And is it a professional fence, or are they doing it themselves?
She's building it, they're building it themselves. They're gonna make it a wood fence. And they are building it themselves.
Okay, and is there like height? Did you guys talk about that? Are we sure that this is a dog-proof fence?
She is building it clearly with that intention. We did not interrogate in terms of the exact design of the wall.
But we
Okay,
provided updates on that on a
And
bi-weekly
pictures.
basis for our meetings.
They're gonna be 6-foot panels.
6-foot panels?
Yeah.
Is what you think?
Paneled.
a 6-foot fence would be great. And you guys will let us know when that's all set and we can
Yes, we will
calm
keep
down a
it
little.
on our agenda for a while because we asked for bi-weekly updates. So we will have this on our agenda so that everybody can be on the same page.
Thank you. We really appreciate that.
Welcome. Is there anything else that would go with our animal control update? Number 3, discuss ideas in the town plan. And
So I went through the town plan. I looked at the old Newfane and New report that was done back in 2014. I went to the last planning commission's meeting. And what I did and what I would like to recommend is I started pulling together a list of projects based on different goals for the town. I started pulling that together based on what I read in the town plan and in some other reports. And what I would like to do is finish that document working with the planning commission, bring it here to the select board. I'm hoping by our next meeting, I don't promise, but that's my goal, to bring it here for the next meeting and to review then what the ideas are on that list, get other people's input. And then I don't know exactly how to structure all of this. I think that's something we as a group will need to figure out. But I think 2 of the next steps would need to be getting input from members of the public to see what else people would want to see on the list. And then coming up with a process to review the list and put it into some kind of priority structure so that we have a prioritized list of projects. We can start on a certain number of them now and attempt to get some of them funded in part or in full with the money that will be coming down from the government. And then also it would allow us to have like a master list to be working on
Yes,
going forward.
hear ye.
That sounds
Because
great.
there are grant monies and other things that will be coming up, but if there are other projects, I know not road crew projects and not hazard mitigation and not telecommunications, because all of those are being dealt with, so not addressing those issues in this listing. But if there are other projects that either have been on lists or should be, if people want to tell me, I'll add it, or else we'll just do it once I present it. And we can then figure out how to go the next step and pull this all together. But I think if we've got the master list, we can decide which projects we want to start on. Not all of them are big ticket items, so I don't see why we couldn't make significant progress on a number of items this year. And then for those that are really bigger and thornier and harder to figure out, I think we can start putting together some processes that we would want to put together to analyze the situation, do some more research, maybe bring in some consultants to advise us or whatever. But I think there are a lot of possibilities. I actually find it very exciting working on this because I think there's a lot we could do.
That's awesome.
There's money coming down and there's specific money for like transportation, pedestrian walkways immediately that need to be considered, I guess, if we want to get involved in it. And the other thing that I was thinking of was having, a committee of people to, I don't know if they come out of the development, planning and development, community members, but to formalize and make it into a committee so that we get a feedback from real people. There's also funding for this is something that really needs to be discussed in the community. Do we want the hub of the village of Newfane, is really an economic center. And there's an inn there that's for sale. There's the market, which has been recently purchased and renovating. But there's also the houses in the village. And talking with Windham Regional Commission, which I'm a commissioner of, having a public water system and waste system, there's a big concern about all the individual septic and wells with the houses so close to each other failing. And if we can get a water system in, which a lot of little villages have been able to do, it allows for economic development to occur. And we can, as a town, say it only in this section, to have really a master plan and development of the village there. Money to Williamsville. I've asked, or suggested that they incorporate there, that there's a lot of active people, concerned people, residents, and they really love their little village, but it's not a village. It's just it's considered a village, but it's not incorporated and it's still under the control of the town. So they could form and apply for funding specifically for their village development and have some control over what happens over there. So, and it doesn't have to be, I was involved with the Saratoga Springs redevelopment in the 80s. And Saratoga Springs, the city of Saratoga Springs is beyond what our vision was. But we did it through the arts, we did it through historic renovation, preservation, and infrastructure. And it was difficult for people living in Saratoga, the natives, for so many generations, to see their village or their city change. But 30 years later now, their properties have risen so extraordinarily that they had no idea that they could have my in-laws bought a house for $7,000 and sold it for $450,000.
Wow.
And it, was one of the older homes and really hadn't been renovated.
Mhm.
So there's the plus and the minuses to
Right,
it.
it's always the case with development projects.
But I mean, the village here has had some development and it's really enhanced with sidewalks and curbing and lighting, and it's still a village and it's a walkable village and it's,
No, it's not.
it's not a walkable village.
Not in the winter.
Well, I'm saying where the sidewalks are, sorry.
No, not.
Well, even that, there.
Okay, we'll take that out.
Okay,
Sorry. Sidetracked.
But we could have afford to, look at clearing sidewalks
Mhm.
as a service.
Well, I like your ideas of coming up with a master list and then reaching out to the members of the public to see what people would like to see and go forward. And I think that would be great.
Okay.
Thank you so much. Working with the planning commission, that's awesome. Did you have something else you wanted to add, Gloria? I thought I saw your hand up at one point.
Yeah, I guess I came in and I know that this is old business. I didn't, to discuss ideas of the list. So, Anne, can you just say what kind of list you're talking about? Are they just items from the town plan that could be implemented as action items at some point?
Well, there are different kinds of things. Some of them are like big, like the items that Shelley was mentioning. Do we want water and septic systems for the village of Newfane Central? Do we want to, what can we do to try to attract and keep young families here? And some ideas about that. So looking at some of the big, how do we bring more business in? I mean, where I am in South Newfane, it's just one thing after another that feels like being out. So it looks at all of those big issues, all of which are discussed in the town plan, and then pulls out certain projects for us to consider analyzing and deciding whether or not we want to move forward with. So it's the beginning of a process that hopefully would end in a creation of a master plan that we can begin.
Lots of times, because of this funding that's coming down, projects will get done because of that funding, and will seed money and grow into something more.
Okay.
So you can devise your plan based around the funding that's available to get you going.
Thanks.
Do you have anything further on your
Nothing
report?
further. That's all I got.
Thank
I'm
you
glad
so
can focus
much.
on that for us.
That's awesome.
It's what I do for my job, but that's on Long Island. So then having to switch gear, oh no, this is Vermont. I can't do that.
Thank you. Now we're moving on to new business and we have Gloria.
So the West River Valley Mutual Aid has put up two what we call Share the Bounty stands, one in front of the church in Newfane and one on the porch at the old schoolhouse in South Newfane. And I talked to Steve Levine, so he's aware. I was concerned that we didn't have anything in Williamsville. And as we know, we're always going, are they Williamsville to incorporate? But at this point in time in history, we are the town of Newfane. So I wanted to get permission, since the Williamsville Hall is under the town's and the select board's governance, to see if it's okay to have the mutual aid group construct a third one with a roof in the same way that we have one at the church, and put that under the tree outside of the Williamsville Hall.
I think that's a great idea.
Steve's in agreement that that would be good.
Is it the freestanding stand are you talking about?
Mhm.
Yep.
Yes.
And people
And-
leave canned goods and boxed goods, and sometimes in the summer, if you have extra vegetables, they leave them in bags, and it's great, and people just go along, and if they need something, they take
It's
it.
like the Bookshare thing.
Yeah.
I think it's a wonderful idea.
Yeah, that's great.
Okay, and I know that Bruce Landenberger designed a stand after we did the other two that can actually be taken down, but we did leave the one up at the church, and it got used through the winter. So anyway, that's that. And this has nothing to do with this, but I didn't yap during the unscheduled members of the public. Just remember that Green Up Day is May 1st, and the bags are out front of the office. They just got there this morning, and there's a sign-up sheet. There's also one box at Williamsville Hall and one on the South Newfane Schoolhouse. So if you haven't signed up and would like to, please contact me, because I am your coordinator for the Green Up Day. And we've gotten really good responses to emails that Shelley started organizing a list, and one that I took over from Laura Bacon and Nissa, and sent out an email, and kind of within a day, people were really signing up and doing good work. It's River Road that we have concerns about, upper section of South Wardsboro, but I think Shelley's going to take care of that.
Yeah, so if anybody has any interest, please contact me.
Yeah.
802-221-0536.
And I have some other, Shelley, and I'll get in touch with you, some other people who will probably be willing to help on that.
Okay, great.
But it's a great thing. And then make sure your bags are tied and on the side of the road, and Jay and the road crew will pick them up on May 3rd.
Thank you so much for that reminder about Green Up Day.
It's coming up.
Do we need to make a motion about having the Share the Bounty food stand at Williamsville Hall, or just let it happen?
I would say that we can make a motion to approve the stands at the Williamsville Hall. Is
Yeah,
that the only place?
that's the only one.
Okay. And that with the respect that they would be in good condition without hazard.
The one at the church has been fantastic and well taken care of.
So somebody could second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Yay. Thank you.
Thank
Excellent.
you for all your work.
You're welcome.
All right, is there anything further on that? And then we'll move to correspondence. An email from Whitney Packer dated March 15th. The subject is food vending in Newfane. Dear Newfane, my partner and I are in the early stages of developing organic fruit and vegetable juice company that we intend to open this summer. We intend to do mostly pickup and delivery from our kitchen in Putney, but are also interested in potentially vending in the local area this summer. Is this something that the town of Newfane would be open to? We intend to maintain a small operation and complete all juice preparations in our kitchen space in Putney. We would like to load up our juice van with delicious products and sell to summertime travelers in Newfane. Our footprint would be very small and would not impose and large presence on the town. Our style is casual and fun, which I believe would fit in well with the Newfane summer feeling. Please let us know if this is something the town would be open to discussing further. I look forward to hearing from you. Best, Whitney Packer.
I'm not clear where they're going to do it.
Well, I think it needs to go to zoning, right?
I was forwarding this to Merle and Juanetta because this is from Carol Hasselbeck, because the zoning and the select board should respond to this question. I would say I'd like to invite Whitney and his partner in to discuss further about what they'd like to do and have Merle available too.
Is it like, it's just gonna be a mobile thing or something? We don't know.
This is all I know.
Maybe they're doing it from their truck, so then it'd be a question of where they were gonna park the truck and.
I would say to invite them into a meeting to discuss further what their intentions are.
I would say clear it through Merrill.
Have them
As
talk to
far as
Merle
I-
and then come to a meeting
Yeah.
and discuss. Can you respond to that with
Mhm.
Merle and them? Thank you so much. The next is Roy Mercon. What is his stories? Coming to visit and fly. To whom it may concern, greetings. My name is Roy Mercon. I'm a veteran photographer, licensed drone pilot, and a Vermont resident for more than 25 years. I finally have the opportunity to pursue a dream project of mine, and it involves visiting your little slice of the Green Mountains. It is my hope to showcase the best of each town in Vermont using aerial photography by photographing all 251. This is where you folks come in. I'm hoping to get your blessing to fly a drone around 3 to 5 spots in the town. It is a process that is of minimal impact, both on time and distraction. I don't have a specific date time in mind yet. Perhaps you might have some local insight as to the best time to visit your community. Perhaps some tips on the best spots to see. I love the state and wish to show off my home to the world. It's just Ben and Jerry's and Bernie Sanders to those on the outside. Thanks for taking the time to read and respond to my letter. I look forward to hearing from you and to see what your community looks like from a bird's eye view. Respectfully yours, Roy Mercon.
Do we have a drone policy?
But we don't have a policy. And it's, some people may be put out by it.
Depends on where they would fly the drone. I would
I mean,
say away from personal property.
well, I can see like the Rock River, you know,
On public areas, but not
Newfane
over any
Hill.
and
residential.
maybe directly over the Supreme Court, but you know, that they,
Like they do for
have
foliage.
airspace,
Yeah.
you know, security issues. So again, I think we need to like run it through,
Merle,
yeah, or
can we do the same with Merle on this one?
I actually went on the website and I looked at some of the photography that he's done. He did in Brattleboro, the ski
Fantastic.
slope,
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
and he did around the common, the tower, at the retreat
at the
tower.
retreat, yeah.
So it was more historical venues that he
Mhm.
was doing. So it was interesting.
Yeah.
I mean, I would say that as long as he is restricting himself to public properties and not going over any residential properties, and that we would recommend he check out the rivers and our commons and leave it at that.
That sounds good to me.
But I think we should look at the future zone
A policy.
policy. So, for, you know, for
The drones.
yeah, security issues. And
Mhm.
my hometown, they do it all the time, but they usually do it in such a lot. It's such a height.
Mhm.
It's an aerial view versus too low.
Right.
So I don't know what the limit. There must be laws on it somewhere.
I think the last professional one I saw of Newfane was the last Heritage Festival when it was way high up and it was all of the vendors on the common.
Yeah.
And it was beautiful.
It was absolutely beautiful.
Yeah.
And I would recommend foliage as a time to take any photos of
That's true for
Newfane
anything
because it's
going on.
gorgeous.
We could actually help sell the local properties like down at Winchester Stables with the white fence and the beautiful sunset.
Yeah.
Mhm. There's got to be like some sort of a limit. Maybe we ask him what this limit he uses or whatever, the height. That's what I mean.
Mhm.
Altitude.
Altitude. height,
Yes.
Yeah.
And I wonder if we could encourage him, I'm not sure there's much to see, but to go up to the old Newfane Common.
Yes. I was just thinking
Yeah.
that up on Newfane Hill.
And that we would have rights to some of that to use on our website.
Yeah, and we've got grout pond that's lovely in the foliage. And
Yeah.
so I think it really, if we want to encourage Newfane, I think it's a good idea.
That's great. Can we include asking if we can use them on our website?
Yeah, that we would have rights to it.
Those are great ideas, Gloria. Thank you so much. Anything further on flying a drone? So number 3, we have an email from Doris, and it's regarding this Windham Solid Waste Management Backyard Compost Demonstration Flyer. Hello and welcome to our first announcement of the soft opening of our backyard compost demonstration area to take place on May 15th. We are very excited to get this up and running. We were unable to do so last year due to the pandemic, but we are hopeful this year will be different. We were hoping that you could distribute this document possibly into your websites, social media platforms, bulletin boards, newsletters, and any other forms of media to help us spread the word. If you have any questions, please feel free to contact me, which would be Anita Grant, or Athena Bradley at athenalee1@comcast.net, who is heading up this project. Thank you for your help and support. It's time for composting. Join us for the spring open house of the Windham Solid Waste Management District's backyard composting demonstration site, Saturday, May 15th, 1:30 to 3:30 at the Windham Solid Waste Management District Transfer Station. Featuring a variety of compost tumblers, bins, and tools, WSWMD's composting demonstration site will be open for self-guided learning. The demo site can also be used by garden clubs, schools, community groups, and others who want to offer compost workshops and on-hand learning opportunities. Our demo site open house will feature mini compost workshops, ask a compost expert, kitchen caddies, and compostable bag giveaways, and a free raffle for an Earth Machine compost bin. Learn more about how to safely compost food scraps, what to do if your compost isn't heating up, how to keep wildlife away, the pros and cons of different compost bins, how to tell when your compost is done, and more. Check the district's website, windhamsolidwaste.org, for more information about the open house, or pick up a flyer at the transfer station, Scale House, 327 Old Ferry Road. Our event is kid-friendly and COVID-safe. That sounds like a fun event. Can you put this information on our website, please?
We tend not to put outside information on the website as previous years because we get a lot of submissions, but I'd be happy to put it on the bulletin board. We tend to, in the past, they've tended to keep just Newfane business interest or stuff like that.
Make copies of this, that would be great.
Yeah,
I think it does belong on the website actually for something like this because it impacts everyone.
Absolutely.
I would do it. I mean, maybe decide on it.
And just make sure you have, please contact this website.
Yes.
Not.
Maybe I'll have Bob and Julie as
Yeah, do like a whole open house for the composting at WW whatever.
Yeah.
And then here's the link, with the date.
Yeah.
That's it.
I can have Bob set that up for me.
That would be great.
Yeah.
Because we're all needing to have to compost. I found a mouse floating in mine.
Ooh, that's
a mouse. Oh. I need a real composting thing.
It's keeping the bears out of mine.
Yeah, same. We had to put our garbage cans away. We already have the bear traversing the village. Yes.
Oh, geez.
Yep.
Baker Brook Road has several bears.
All right. Is there anything further for this meeting tonight? And we're going to go into pay orders. So I thank everybody for coming this evening and stay safe and have a good night.